Hello students, this is Miss Rebecca with the Reach for the Stars program at Longfellow Elementary. Here we are again with chapter 5 of Just Us Kids Shipwrecked by Dee Stewart. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the book so far. And I know last chapter we were left on a bit of a cliffhanger. So I hope this chapter you guys enjoy it and you guys come again next week for chapter 6. So let's get started into chapter 5. Let's read the materials needed. You need a notebook where you have hopefully been writing down all of your essay questions for each chapter. You need a pencil to write down all of your amazing answers and some good listening ears. Okay, so for today's agenda, May 7th, 2020, we are going to be reading the objective for Just Us Kids Shipwrecked, have an overview of the essay questions, read chapter 5, and then review the essay questions one last time. So let's read today's objective. Students will follow along with the teacher and read Just Us Kids Shipwrecked. Once the reading is done, students will participate in a few short essay questions at the end regarding the day's reading. Chapter 5 questions. Number 1. What shape did Tyler make their shelter in? Number 2. How does Tyler say to make smoke? Number 3. Which character steps up to help the group? And number 4. Why do you think Roy ran off at the end of the chapter? Ooh, spoiler. Okay, and remember, keep your notebook with all your answers to receive raffle tickets for when I see you again. Alright, now let's get started with chapter 5. Chapter 5. I can see our camp ahead. I'm happy we have water for Willie to feel better, but I can't stop thinking about that snake. It feels like something is still crawling on me. I can't believe you grabbed that snake and threw it off you, Tyler, Roy says after hearing the story from Julie. It almost sounds like she is upset she missed out on the latest adventure. I wasn't really thinking about it. I knew we needed to get that water, and my adrenaline was pumping, I guess. Julie screaming told me something bad was happening, so I have to thank her. Was she the only one who screamed? Roy laughs. We know where the water is. It's an easy walk now that we've made a little path. There's plenty of water for all of us. We'll just have to watch out for the snakes. With that crossed off the list, it's time to make the shelter better. I tell them, trying to get them to forget about me yelling and running away from the snake. Willie, are you feeling better? Rory asks, and I'm glad she's here to help. I think so. The water's helping. Willie sits up and looks better. Take a while longer before you try to do much, Roy tells him and helps him lie back down. Roy, can you help me gather some vines and those large leaves over there? These palm pieces are good. We already have a start on the floor to keep us out of the sand. Now we need some cover for a roof. This way we won't get soaked when it rains again, and we will have some shade during the day. I start building a triangle shape around the floor, and we made. It's beginning to look like a teepee. I made these in the backyard on a couple camping trips. I'm good at this. I put Tommy on my shoulders, and we walk around in circles with Tommy while Tommy wraps the vines around the top to give it a little extra strength. We are becoming a good team. I'll try the smaller branches and cover the holes, Rory says. When I'm done, we'll start adding these large leaves on top. It's starting to look like a real shelter now. Finally feeling good about the shelter, I think about ways to get us noticed. We need to make smoke, and lots of it. I remember the show about needing damp leaves. I don't want to put out our fire, and it keeps us staying warm and cook. So I think about making a few other fires farther down the beach. We don't want to smell the smoke. We just want it to catch the attention of any passing boats or planes. Roy, we need to get some wet leaves and twigs. This will help us make smoke. It's time to think about being rescued, not just surviving. I'm going to start 2 new fires and use them to make smoke, I say, dusting the sand off my hands. Roy nods. I'll gather some. Tommy, come with me and we'll get what we need while Tyler builds the new fires. built them near the SOS sign in the sand that Julie and I rode on. After a short time, I have one of the fires going, and it's raging. Well, Willie seems to be doing better. I ask him to dig a hole in the sand to put the leaves and twigs in to keep them damp. It's a small job, and he seems up to it. Hopefully, he learned his lesson about drinking ocean water no matter how thirsty he is. I have one of the fires going, guys. Let's use this one and see what kind of smoke we can make. Everyone grabs handfuls of damp leaves and starts to pile them on. At first, I think it will smother the fire, but it actually starts to work. Billows of white smoke rise from the fire. I know we need more, but it's a good start. I finish the second fire and make a plan to keep them going. We head back to our shelter, and the two big fires continue burning. I can see the smoke from our camp. I only hope someone else will too. Someone who can rescue us. I hand out peeled bananas and water we boiled. We need to think about more food now. We have water, shelter, and a couple things to eat. We have a rescue plan in place with the smoke and the SOS sign in the sand. We need more bananas. The monkeys must move on now and then. Julie smiles. They're cute. Not when they want the bananas we need, I say seriously. Tommy, who has been listening to my advice and lessons, speaks up. We could be here a while, so we need to start thinking long term. Maybe we should make our shelter up in the trees like the monkeys. I'm sure it's safer up there. We can figure out a way to scare them off and take their bananas. I hear a sniffle and then someone crying. I expect it to be one of the younger kids, but it's Roy, and she's running off. Roy, come back! It's not safe out there alone! I yell to her, but she doesn't stop. She's out of the firelight, and I've lost her. Well, all right, that was chapter 5. Now let's once again go over the questions one last time. Number 1, what shape did Tyler make their shelter in? Number 2, how does Tyler say to make smoke? Number 3, which character steps up to help the group? And number 4, why do you think Roy ran off at the end of the chapter? A reminder, keep your notebook with all your answers to read raffle tickets when I see you again. Alright, well that's it for now. I miss you all. Please stay safe, and I will see you next week with chapter 6.